at Croft Castle in Herefordshire, which is owned and managed by the National Trust.
An almost forgotten part of the estate, known as Fishpool Valley, remodelled in the late 18th century by the Johns family, is a story we want to share with you. Leading the project to restore Fishpool Valley is project manager Imogen Sambrook.
How do you expect the views to change as the project unfolds?
So some views as they open up will be quite subtle because we'll just be taking out a few trees and it won't look so different. It'll just be about opening up the view a little bit. There's a promontory at the head of the valley which looks down and you can see all the way across Pool 7, which is currently dry, Pool 6, down to Pool 5, which is just above the pump house. And you will be able to see all the way down there just from taking a very small, narrow corridor of trees away. And we don't want to make it too uniform, no straight lines. It's all about the natural, picturesque landscape.
People who wanted to explore the principles of the picturesque back in that time went to places like the wilds of Scotland or the Alps to find the wild and the wonderful, and then the landowners who had the sort of property like Fishpool Valley here created that sort of wilderness, or tried to create a wilderness of their own.
Ian Carter is the countryside manager for the National Trust in Herefordshire, and he is charged of looking after Croft's parkland and woodlands.
What sort of work is involved in managing such a large but also intricate woodland?
Well, obviously, like every site to look after is very different and unique. But here, the challenges are greater. I mean, this is such a sensitive site, not just for wildlife, but we've got public access, we've got archaeology. So it's a really sensitive site to look after. To determine what trees you take out is very different to the approach I would normally take. Normally, when you go into the woodland, I'm looking at thinning it to achieve the best stems, to achieve the best timber I can possibly get. But here, it's slightly different because it's like the picturesque landscape. You're almost looking for a good variety of trees, and also obviously the big veteran trees, the ancient trees you would leave anyway. But you're looking for bent, twisty, gnarled trees of interesting bark and interesting kind of features within the tree. So the trees you'd normally take out of a woodland because they're not great for timber, but here in the landscape kind of aspect, they're the key trees to keep.
There's a really clear bowl here where the pool would have been, but if you actually look at the levels of the spillways, so there's an earthen spillway on that side, and then up here we've got a stone culvert which has got a rectangular slab on top of it, and there's a cascade on the other side, and you can actually see, if you get your eye into the landscape, you can see the level of the pool would have been right up there, probably where my head height is now. Okay. And so we're still standing underwater essentially. If the pool is filled back up, it'll be right up almost level with the top of the dam here.
What are you hoping that the experience will be like for visitors once the valley's been restored?
We're hoping that once people can come down and see the work going on in the valley, they'll begin to appreciate how different it would have looked 200 years ago.
We give thanks to the advice of our partners such as Historic England and Natural England, but also to you, our supporters. You can get involved in the project by visiting and seeing the work take place, making a donation, or just by following a walk to enjoy everything this special place has to offer.